All right, welcome to Low Effort. I yield. That's a pedicab. Oh no, that wasn't a pedicab. That was a child.
That was a baby stroller guy thing.
Welcome to the show today. If you're watching on YouTube, we're cruising down the streets of Austin. For people who don't know me personally, this is where I live. Right now, we are cruising on a street called South Congress. And South Congress reads, or not reads. Jesus, I'm gonna. What's the word that's not an illiterate? You're just bad at speaking.
Oh goodness, I don't.
Is there a word
know.
for that?
That's a good question. I just genuinely hear people say I'm bad at public speaking. I don't know if there's a word for it.
I wouldn't say I'm bad at
I'd
public
love to know the
speaking,
word.
but like coming up with the word, or when I fumble a word, there's got to be a word for that. If you're smart, leave it in a comment somewhere.
Yeah, it takes too much effort to look that one up. We're looking for the low effort. Zing us a definition.
I don't really want to Google it. Googling's for nerds. Right. What did people do before Google? Nobody, you can't
encyclopedias, 100%.
Encyclopedias are
and
stupid.
Newspapers.
Here, newspapers. Okay.
Yeah, seriously.
But back then, you would have an argument, and you could let an argument ring out for an eternity, because you never knew. Now someone's just a dick, and they're like, I'll just look it up. Like, no. Fucking chill. Yeah.
In line
chill with
at the
lookup.
Store.
We'll settle this in the car later outside of public, and we'll come to a conclusion. But there's no need to put someone on blast like that with Google. Anyway, what I was saying is this street runs directly up to the Capitol building. There's some good restaurants on the street.
Apparently some good skyscrapers too, buddy.
All right. This is an old video. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, I can. I was gonna say I don't know all the buildings downtown, but there are a lot more skyscrapers than there used to be.
So the one in the YouTube video is the Frost Tower up on the right. It looks like an owl. So if you're looking at it from 35, you can see two eyes and a point. It actually does look like an owl. It's really tight.
Like an owl. I've never heard of that before.
Frost Bank. You can Google that.
Don't. Sunshine Run. Do you know what the Sunshine Run is? I need to know more.
And this was the bridge that connects everything.
The Congress Bridge?
Yeah. Is
this where the bats are hanging out?
I've actually never done the bats thing. I don't really care about bats. But
you've never done the bats thing?
Nah, I don't give a shit. But there's a good trail that runs underneath this bridge and circles Town Lake. It's one of my favorite places to walk.
I rode my bike out there and ran into a bunch of bat enthusiasts as I went to go under that bridge there.
Yeah.
In fact, I looked like a complete cunk, really, honestly. I had a helmet on. What? Go ahead.
Have we explained kunk on this show yet?
No, we haven't explained kunk on this show.
That's just a thing we say and it sounds weird. Just to get everyone up to speed, we'll skip the lore of it. But a kunk is someone who is a cuck, but also being a cunt. So if you hear it in the future,
2 in 1.
There you go. Yeah, it's a double.
Twofer.
A twofer. Two for Sunday.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I had I'm a giant. I'm Hagrid coming through this crowded ass spot where everybody's looking at bats to begin with. And then I had a loom cube attached to my helmet at 1,000 lumens just pumping out at everybody who bothered to look at me.
You need it.
So it was like, ding, 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 wah, and just people ee, just the light is in their face. Some folks thought I might have been one of the cops on bike because of the light that was coming through this thing.
We were watching Tim and
cool.
Eric yesterday. It was the episode where they had the cops on recumbent bicycles.
On recumbent bicycles?
Yeah, it's a spinoff of Cops. It's called Corbs. Cops on recumbent bicycles.
So I like that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I like this. This city a lot, man. That's why I live here.
That's why I live there.
People just drive kind of crazy.
Austin feels so much more friendly for foot traffic too, or just.
It is very walker and biker friendly.
Yeah, walking around and seeing stuff, and there's always stuff to see and or do.
Hang on, I got you. Frozen for a second. 2019 is when this video was made. I just had to pop in and find out for myself.
Oh yeah, I had to know.
I had to know.
I'd love to see a newer one. That'd be pretty cool.
It was heavy with construction the past couple of months, but it's starting to clear up a tiny bit. There were cranes. I'd probably say, not exaggerating, there were probably 14 or so large cranes for skyscrapers out there.
That's crazy talk.
And now they're having to So right now they're expanding the city a lot. Like they're adding a lot of new condos downtown. There's a lot of new office buildings. The Google building is
Right on.
finally done, and the Google building actually looks really nice.
Google building. They have a HQ down there.
Yeah. If you check it out,
Nice.
it's right alongside the river, and man, it looks pretty. Like I'm not a huge fan of the city expanding so quickly, but at least that building does look nice. The Fairmont is the ugliest fucking building in Austin. It's it kind of looks like a Jenga tower, and then the top of it has this weird like mesh crown thing on it that looks extremely ugly. I'm sure there's a good reason for why it looks the way it does. Or I don't know, I'm not an architect, but
I was gonna say that there's almost even if we don't like the building, there's somebody out there who's like, this architect was amazing or worth $7,000 million.
7,000 million.
Yeah, there was like, we don't care how much money we give this asshat. We all know his name now.
Yeah.
Yay.
Dude, the Capitol building is fucking tight too. I like old ass buildings.
Hey, for all the old heads listening, I'm trying to remember the name of the sitcom where the dad in the family was an architect. I just remember learning about architects in 90s sitcoms, and I can't remember who it was. Oh, wait.
Was it The Nanny?
Is it?
Wasn't Homeboy an
That would
architect?
totally make sense. That would totally make sense. The boy was flush with cash.
Hang on. We can Google that kind of shit.
Man, you're going to freeze me.
Let's do it. I'm not going to freeze you.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I was
gonna.
gonna let you.
I'm using new tech. Shit, I did it. I did it anyway. I said I wasn't gonna do it, and I fucking did it. Man. Oh Jesus Christ! All right. We're free.
Nice.
The Nanny TV show. What do you think? Was it an architect?
I can't recall. Honestly, I thought it might have been the dude from what was his name?
Oh, he was not an architect at all. What a fucking
Step by Step.
bot.
I think it
Maxwell
might have been the dad from
Sheffield
Step by Step.
is the male protagonist who ends up hiring Fran to watch over his 3 children. He's a widowed Broadway producer.
He's a shitty dad.
He's a bad dad.
Yeah, not a good dad.
And didn't he like never hook up with the nanny? Wasn't that the thing?
I don't know. They tried to do the whole "Who's the Boss" redo, except there was a lady who was the boss this time. I don't know. I really didn't watch that show. That
I
voice
watched a
was,
lot of it.
Treacherous.
Her voice is awful, but God, she's gorgeous. Fran Drescher could get it any day she wants, dude.
Congratulations on your taste, sir. I humbly disagree.
Even now, 2022. I mean, I haven't looked at a picture in a minute, but
I was gonna say we better we better take a little
no,
look-see there.
I'm gonna stand by what I said. I'm a truster.
I'm gonna trust this one.
She's a pretty lady. All right, so who was an architect as a dad?
I think it might have been the dad on the sitcom called Step by Step, but I'm not really sure.
Step by step. Here's what we'll do: is I'll just use my phone to Google things.
Oh, I have a phone too. One time I
Step
had
by
a phone.
step. What's that show about?
It's like a modernized wannabe Brady Bunch. There's a couple of divorcees that meet and they have a family, and I think there's 2 dudes, three girls.
It says divorced contractor.
Contractor. Okay, so he's not the one. All right, I'm gonna do my Google powers too.
I don't know, man. I bet being an architect would kind of suck. Like, what if you made a building and then like it went south? Is it your fault or is it the engineers? I guess there's an investigation for that, right? It could depend.
That's a really good question, actually.
I don't know the process of like how to blame someone properly when a natural disaster,
Bro,
catastrophic event happens.
It's the Brady Bunch, dude.
The Brady Bunch was the architect.
Yeah,
That show sucked though.
Yeah, with the show.
Yeah, the show sucked.
I don't think you understood.
It was
what
so
television
fucking
was
boring.
like, dude.
It was too wholesome for me. I don't know.
Did you ever watch fucking Leave It to Beaver or Mr. Ed? Because like those were the contenders,
dude.
man.
Those shows were like canceled way before I was born.
Yeah, that has no bearing on syndication.
Why would I just
Because your parents could be assholes. I don't know. That's
and
how I
make
know
me
about
watch Leave It to Beaver?
Yes, 100% that happened to me as a kid.
Fuck that! I'd have been
No
so
joke, dude. It's
mad.
like, watch this show.
Yeah.
No, you get to like it. Wally's an asshole. You know what I mean? You go in.
Who's Wally?
You don't want to know. We're not doing this. I'm not going to break down the characters for you. We're not going to talk about June Cleaver. We're not going to approach the American ideal of the perfect nuclear family as given to us through Leave It to
Wasn't
Beaver.
there like fucking 15 of them?
What? On Leave It to Beaver, you talk about Brady Bunch again, aren't you?
I don't know. I'm getting the two mixed up.
That's how young you are.
They're boring,
That's how
dude.
youthful you
I
are.
can't.
You're totally full of youth and vim and vigor.
I cannot do full positivity. I cannot do too much wholesome. There's got to be an edge somewhere. I need somebody making a joke about finding the stepdad hanging in the garage, something like that. I need a little. Think of like a tincture of darkness,
Okay.
just a little. Boop.
Just a little blip
Yeah,
of
There's-
darkness.
it's got to make me laugh somehow. Like, what am I gonna laugh at? Is the one of the little boys in the family gonna make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? And oh shucks,
No.
I used peanut butter twice instead of jelly. And then a laugh track. Fuck off, dude.
You clearly have not watched any of these.
I'm just saying that's the vibe it gives me. Like that'd be a big joke. Like, haha, he messed up a peanut butter sandwich.
Something tells me you don't have any respect for Lucille Ball.
Lucille Ball. I watched a lot of I Love Lucy as a kid, because of Nick at Night. That's the first
Yeah.
thing they would play.
Are you a fan or are you like, nah?
I'm indifferent. I don't know her as a lady, so
I don't know her as a lady.
yeah, like I didn't fucking hang out with her, so I don't really have that. What do you want me to say?
Okay, so I was wondering if you were aware of her legacy or whatever.
I know she's got a statue.
That'd be weird to see.
I want to. Man, I'm gonna sound like an asshole. It's not Austin. It's not in Austin. It's in like something stupid like Cleveland.
Is it like maybe a hometown or some shit?
It's got some kind of significance. I was way off. It's in New York.
New York.
I'm just a dude. That's the nice thing about doing a show like this is I can just be completely wrong and it's okay.
If not expected, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's part of the fun of listening to these shows is you know the answer. No. It's
You dumb son of a
there is
bitch.
not a Lucille
Yeah.
Ball.
In Cleveland.
We've got a Stevie Ray Vaughan statue.
Remember that one time it was flooded and you couldn't see it?
Did that happen?
Yeah, legit ass that happened.
That's crazy.
Like I've seen a flood in Austin that had the water line up to like the feather in the hat.
Jeez.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, look, it's Stevie Ray, which is mind-boggling. Actually, in retrospect, it's mind-boggling because you ride past the thing and it's larger than life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah.
It's pretty big. It's a cool statue. There's
Is it
this,
the kind of statue you would like make a destination out of? Like, would you go from city A to city B to see the statue of Stevie Ray?
not me personally, no. I think if we're like, within 3 blocks, it'd be like, oh, dude, you want to go see this cool Stevie Ray Vaughan statue? Get a picture next to it. I think that's worthy. But making a whole trip for that, nah, I'm out.
Not gonna happen.
Nah, and plus I'm like a pretty practical, destination guy.
Okay.
I need more than just one thing. I got to have a couple check boxes to tick off.
What do you look for in a city? What do you like when you're going to a new joint?
Dude, I like a dense city. Like,
A dense city where you're like, I can't really see 3 blocks down the road.
Yeah,
There's
dude.
stuff happening everywhere. Okay.
yeah, I'm into that. There was a time in Austin where it was like that, but Austin is a shell of what it used to be, man. Like, I've been to
What do you-
6th Street a couple times recently. I've been to Rainy Street a couple of times. You were there with me on Rainy. I mean, like, Rainy was packed, but like 6th is a ghost town, dude.
Raining was amazing. Like,
I
it
don't
was kind
know-
of mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, I don't know why they still shut down the streets on the weekend on 6th Street. Like, there's not enough people to warrant that.
Because you got to make it look like it's happening, man. You can't just be like, yeah, remember when you used to have closed streets and you can get through to places? Now
To
you
me-
can't because there's nothing here.
To me, it's more cringe to see that. Like, it looks worse to me. Like we shut it down so these 19 people can walk across the street. Like,
brother, let me tell you about the Crowdist project in Dallas.
uh-huh.
In our little neighborhood of Deep Ellum, the jazz music, like fucking bastion of yore.
That sounds fucking tight.
Man, it used to be. There's this this road called Crowdist, and it's like maybe 2 like tiny city block length or whatever.
Yeah.
And there was like it had on like the east side of the road there was like Reno's Chop Shop, like a big fucking biker bar type shits.
Mm-hmm.
And on the left side there was a place called Drugstore Cowboy, which is more of like underground hip hop type place. And then they would block off, and then they'd block off that whole street, and on the next intersection was like the Curtain Club and shit. It was the weirdest grouping of people, and there was really no fucking point for it. It's just the people in Dallas were like, what if we did it and it was cool? And then they did it and it wasn't cool at all.
Yeah.
Like I'm reminded of this because I was going through my my media history, my archives, if you will, to see what things I might want to use for a select reel.
Yeah.
And I came across that street and I was like, oh, right. I remember when Dallas fucked this all the way up.
To me, I guess it just reminds me of like when you do that, it's like watching a dying man just slowly go. Like, why are we doing this? I mean,
yeah, fair.
I mean, like, dude, close down Rainy. Easy. Rainy could easily use a nice closed off street. It might fuck up traffic pretty bad. I don't know. I don't live over there in that little area next to the river, so I don't really care.
I can't imagine that being good for all the hotels and the fucking residential areas out there on Rainy.
Yeah, but like...
Fuck them.
Are they really going anywhere anyway? Like, imagine trying to get out of that area in your fucking car between the hours of like 10 p.m. and 2 a.m.
Yeah.
There's no point. Build a fucking walking bridge or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Austin. Get your shit together.
Figure it out. They're losing their fucking minds trying to figure out how to create like a better traffic flow.
I think Austin's been losing their fucking minds trying to create a better traffic flow for like 30 years.
Whoever designed it to begin with is a fucking idiot.
We got 2 roads that go crisscross.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at a map of Austin, it looks like an X. And most other metropolitan areas, you're going to see like a spider web kind of design.
Concentric circles, ever going outward, lots of branching little connectors. And
Austin is just like lines in these directions, and then streets are also like it's one long street, but it's named like 4 things. So
yeah, like Mopac, dude. Fuck Mopac, dude.
Yeah, loop 1 that doesn't loop.
Right. Oh my god, I found it out the hard way. You ready for a story?
I think you told me this is the one where you were nursing and you were late for work.
Dude, it was
because you thought it was gonna fucking
loop.
loop.
It was a big fucking deal. I was supposed to be like, I took a lunch break at this motherfucker. I knew that it was on loop 1, aka Mopac, right?
Yeah.
And I get on the bitch and I just go all the way out. I remember stopping and asking a motherfucker for directions, and he just kind of like was really trying hard not to laugh at my situation.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm sorry, dude. It doesn't actually loop. I'm like, the fuck you say? He goes, yeah, that's what we think too. Like, it wasn't good. I didn't get the job.
That sucks. That's a huge bummer. I don't know. Cool city. A lot of dumb shit about it though.
I mean, imagine, dude. Somebody shows up for an interview, right? And then maybe there's like a test section. So you got the interview, hey, blah, 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 blah. And now you're going to do this, but take a lunch break first. And then that guy comes back 3 hours later.
So you were already there and then you took a lunch break.
Yeah, dude. No,
that looks pretty fucking
everyone
bad.
took a fucking lunch break. But I was like, let me go find this calculator. This is... God damn it. This is back before you could do some cool calculations and shit on your cell phone. Your ability to do internet-based...
you left to get
cool
a calculator?
No, I mean, it was the task I added on to the break.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, I know what I'll do. I'll go grab one of these in the break.
This here is the Long Center.
Is that the Jenga tower you're talking about?
Yeah, that's it. It looks like shit. See at the top of it is...
That looks gnarly.
Yeah, it's bad looking. This area is cool, though. Man, this is going to be a YouTube episode. If you're not watching this shit, you're just going to be fucking listening to us talk about what we're seeing. It's going to be a bummer. I don't really feel like describing it too much to you, so stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Speaking of pipe smoking, I was trying to find a battery that has like the 510 screws.
Okay. Yeah,
That
I got
also
you.
looked like an old school wooden pipe, and there's only one that they make, and I hate the way it looks. So
Really? You know, I saw a dude
these are the
who
things that I worry about.
I wish I could see that pipe because I'm super curious. Was it
I'll
like a
I'll link it to you
Sherlock
later.
style? Or are we going like church warden style, long and skinny like Gandalf? What are you doing with that pipe?
No, like church warden is probably the best description. It's just nothing to write home about. It could look better. What I was envisioning in my head, like you know how you have like the dream, and you're thinking like surely someone's made this, and you look it up,
Right.
and it's like 70% of that vision. You're like, oh well.
There's an opportunity here.
There were a couple of opportunities, yeah. So I was a little bent out of shape about that yesterday.
Right on. So what has you wanting a pipe? I mean, you know, it's going to do the same shit as a handheld. I mean, I guess
It was
technically
just
pipe
it was
is
just
handheld.
it was just an aesthetic
Right on.
decision. I don't like the way
I have
these
this one.
plain ones. Yeah, it's not the same.
It's a wood grain.
It's wood
effect.
grain. Yeah. I just wanted the shape of
A pipe.
a pipe. Yeah, I
I
don't know.
can dig it.
Get a bathrobe.
It's going to have something to do with the size of the batteries.
Probably, yeah. I don't know. I just use like those $15 ones you can grab at the vape stores, so it's whatever.
That's ridiculous. You got to upgrade.
Why? It does the job.
Yeah, for now.
For now,
For now.
if it burns out, then $15 down the drain for the 3 or 4 months of usage. It's not horrible.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Mm-hmm.
We'll see at the end of the year. I'll run a tally and see like how much should I spend on it versus what would I have paid annually and how long is that one gonna last.
Right on. Because the one I've got in my hand is I've had for like 2 or 3 years now.
Well, nobody likes a braggart, Jason.
No, but they do love an expert who's doling out wisdom.
An expert doling out wisdom.
Amen, brother.
Jesus Christ. What is this show coming to? I want to live in like one of those apartments, like rises up over the river. They're like crazy
the river?
expensive. Yeah.
I was going to say, how much would you pay for that shit? Aren't those like 2K
Not-
at least?
Yeah, like minimum. Yeah, I'm not willing to spend that. That power plant
What
looks
in
rad.
the fuck? Why is there always an asshole like that? Just parked
All right.
somewhere sideways.
No, I actually have a good answer.
All right.
So, because street parking is just hard to get, a lot of the times if you're on any of the streets that are in the downtown area, people making deliveries or like doing DoorDash or whatever, it's not uncommon for them to throw it on their hazards and then just like get out of their car in a lane because there's no parking and they could sit there circling the place for 15 minutes before they find any. So you're going to see
Fair.
people unloading large trucks to like provide kegs for all the bars. People bringing in just like cases of beer.
That's why that Crowders project sucked ass, because the places that they would be to do that were completely consumed with just being blocked off by people.
Also, shouts out to this area right here. One of my favorite shoe places. If you take a right, it's called Fleet Feet. It's a pretty sweet experience. You go in and they like measure your feet and do like a 3D scan of it and tell you
Damn.
like why your feet are big or small or whatever your problem is, and they'll find feet or not
You
feet.
see?
They'll find shoes that like fit your foot, and they'll even let you go like take a jog around the block and stuff like that and come back.
Damn.
Yeah.
They're trying to put New Balance out of business. So basically, it's like New Balance, but for hipsters.
No, it's not a brand.
Athletes?
It's just a store that does that. So think of like
Oh, New Balance does similar shit.
okay, but yeah, they
have their own
carry
stores or whatever.
they carry like Asics, Hoka's, Brooks.
Yeah. Same brands. Yep.
Yeah. I enjoyed the shit out of it. It was nice to have, like you said, a shoe expert,
Doling out wisdom.
a shoe connoisseur. Stop over and tell me.
Have you ever had a moment when you're in a shoe store as a grown ass man and you're looking around and you're like, why the fuck does everything look like a package of Skittles? What happened to
I've
the
never-
brown or the black or the gray or the white? You don't see those anymore? You're saying you have no problem. You can get the color you want regardless.
Yeah, so not only, one of the main shoe brands that I wear now is Hoka because they're incredibly comfortable. feel good to run in, and they're very durable.
Right on.
I shop their website first, and then if I can't order it from their website, I'll go or I'll call another store and see if they have it available. But they'll already have their like products and like different color variations on the website. So I just scroll through there first, and the model that I like in particular comes in black and white, which is 90% of what I wear. So
Right.
super
I vividly
helpful.
recall looking for shoes and going, "Why the fuck is everything a weird like paint splatter starburst bullshit?"
I think those are cool, but why
I
do you
mean,
want?
to an extent, but I didn't want that. Like, I was looking for something that would match with like,
But I
I
mean,
don't know,
you
like.
you dress loud a lot anyway,
Oh,
so
I do now. I've gotten over that. That's what I'm
okay,
saying.
okay,
There was. This is like that professional flip thing, right? Like, I've retired from nursing and I'm trying to figure out, because most of my 10 years was wearing scrubs, like scrubs, and go home and fucking veg out in jeans and a t-shirt, no problems, right? Nowhere
yeah,
to
yeah.
be, nothing to do. And then I'm leaving that shit behind. I was starting to get active with the AV production and maybe getting a little political. And I'm like, what the fuck do I do?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember walking into a New Balance store or a few different places, going, why and how the fuck are these colors still so here? But then I just kind of switched it off. Like, I had a moment where I realized when you are my size, anything and everything you wear looks like a fucking billboard anyway.
True.
And I was like, let me go ahead and wear what I want to wear. People are going to look at me anyway. Like, that's give them something to look at, boy. Then it's the rest is history. Now it's all tiger suits and weird shit. Popeye shirts and fucking comic book panels and shit.
Yeah, it suits you.
Right on.
I like that building right there. I just don't know what it's called.
The
That
round one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks
The
slick,
cylinder boy?
Mm-hmm. I used to do stand up at this place called the New Movement that was on 10th and Lavaca.
You know what, man? Somebody just opened up a new Dallas comedy club.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a brand new one. They paint this bitch. They're setting it up. They're putting out the feelers. They're talking about giving, passing out some hot mic time.
We'll probably see more of it just because of how many people are moving to Austin from that whole world. And now you've got immediate like openings at Dallas, San Antonio, Houston.
Yeah.
Like you can be in each of those in 2 hours or 3 hours. So,
that'd be kind of fucking cool if we could. Maybe we save it for a preem. I'm envisioning taking the wireless lav mics and the field recorder and being able to go catch a show and pop a squat on a podcast with some people. Be like, bitch, get on here.
we probably don't have to even do that. I can just probably make some calls. Ask like, hey, can we just use a room?
Done and done.
Luckily, everyone in Austin comedy scene was pretty fucking nice.
That's the way to go. I saw your boy, the one you're talking about on fucking SNL for a long ass time on screen.
Who?
The dude you're telling about, that young looking motherfucker who's up there writing, but every once in a while has a standing moment.
Yeah, I got you.
I saw one. I'm like, wow, he's on screen a long fucking time. Like, is this guy okay?
Yeah, he's shouts out to Andrew Dismukes, man.
There we go. Yeah.
He's funny, dude. It's just weird, like you were around those people and then like you see them and like they're doing super well. You're like, man. And it's people that like you kind of knew. Like you had a feeling like he is funnier than everyone here. There's another dude, I think, no disrespect at all, I think he's just one of the funniest dudes that I've met in Austin. His name is Martin Urbano. You should look him up when you get some free time.
Okay. How do you spell that last name?
Urbano. Stupid funny. I remember I had him on an old podcast as a guest, and when he came in, I was like, hey, you want a beer? He's like, no, I don't drink. He said, I'm not 21. I was like, oh, shit. How old are you? Because I was like 25 at the time.
Right.
And I was just mind blown that this dude who is not 21 is just fucking murdering on a different level. And then I remember within like the first like 8 months of me being there doing comedy, Martin's like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and move to New York. I was like, okay. And then like right after he did it, he was on a bill with Maria Bamford and Wyatt Cenac. I was like, okay.
Hell yeah, dude.
Checks out. He's a killer, man. He's so funny. Really, really, really nice guy too.
Bamford is something else, dude.
I don't get that lady.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Something else, dude.
I'm not a huge fan personally. Um, I
You,
I can't tell
you
if
know
it's
what
a bit or
Well, I
uh,
mean, this is the thing. Okay, so this is the thing. This is great.
I think that's even weirder for me to say
What?
because like I'm around those people a lot, and like I've seen people that like play a character on stage, but
Mm-hmm.
like I don't think it's a character.
You don't think she's playing a character
I don't think
on or
so.
off? It's just that's
I
the wackiness of her, and
I
she's
think that's just
sublimated it into
yeah.
entertainment.
That's what I feel like. I could be wrong. I've never like took
So,
the time to look into it.
would it shock you to hear me say that I believe that Maria Bamford and Melissa Villa, is it Villaseñor? What's her name?
Via Signoria. I think
Yeah,
she's hilarious.
but they're this same fucking comic. They're very similar in what they do. I've got a weird voice, but I can make it sound
Mm,
like it's not weird.
no.
Just one is using music and the other is telling stories like she's a, I don't know.
Melissa Villaseñor does impressions.
So does Maria Bamford.
I've never seen her do an impression.
Isn't every voice that isn't her own voice essentially an impression?
Of who?
Of
I'm
the
saying
character she's-
Melissa Villaseñor is impersonating other celebrities.
Okay, fair.
But doing voices, I mean, I think everybody does a little bit of that.
Yeah, you got to. It's part of your repertoire. This guy drives like shit, dude. The more I watch this guy driving this little video, he drives like shit, bro. Is that what he does? Goes to different cities. He shows up. Hey, I'm in your hometown. Watch me drive like shit.
I don't know.
Watch me go straight in a left turn only lane.
To be fair, if you don't live here, like I see people still to this day, like outside Whole Foods, they'll turn the wrong way into traffic. Or
Out of the grocery store
yeah,
parking lot. That's not a good move.
or people that will jump on a Lime scooter, or they'll hop on one of the little e-bikes around town, and then they'll just make a wrong turn into traffic. It's bad.
Mistakes were made.
I think if you've never lived in a downtown area where it's mostly one ways, I think maybe it can be confusing for people.
I remember one time I drove to Houston and ended up going the wrong way on a one-way road.
Oof.
Annoyed the shit out of me. I don't like driving in Houston.
At least it makes sense.
Yeah, it's you can navigate it, but I just don't like it. Don't like the city.
You don't want a Range Rover.
A Range Rover?
Shit is tight.
Dude, get a fucking Tesla Cybertruck. Cyber gang for life. Actually, I think my head gasket's going out on my car.
Damn.
I think new car time is going to be right around the corner.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying. They look nice. They're clean.
Yeah. But they cost more. They have that premium that you don't need to pay for.
Oh, no. It's part of the allure.
Is it?
Other people can't have it.
Oh, my God. You're that guy. At the perfect age to be that guy. That's the way to go.
My brother.
That's a good investment, too.
When we were driving in Dallas, over Christmas, my brother said that Dallas had a lot of $30,000 millionaires. And that shit made me laugh so hard.
You intuited. Yes, I know them.
Thank you.
I've seen them before.
These are my people. It was a cool church.
There's no such thing.
The architecture, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty groovy.
They nailed that, dude. Cathedrals.
You know.
They made me take my hat off in the one in New York.
Oh, no shit?
I
When you
put that
walked in,
shit
like,
right
remove your
back
hat?
on as soon as I passed them. Of all things happening, I think me wearing a hat inside is pretty low on God's list of things to be upset about.
No, you're fucking it up. That's your, like, there's some, what was it? Shit. I've heard that to cover your head is to sever the connection to the heavens.
Doesn't the Pope
And
wear a hat?
Yeah, but his hat actually has
Yeah, fucking
antenna in
checkmate.
It improves reception to the angel network, my guy.
Okay.
That's a
What
little
about
different.
the Cardinals? Don't they all wear a little like something?
I mean,
like
they have they've got like the consumer version
yarmulke?
of the Pope hat. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, they do have something. I don't know what that's called. It's weird that there's so many bits of cloth and shit that have different names, even though they're ostensibly the same shit.
It's like the Freemasons. The Freemasons have so much bullshit they wear, and all of them have like these different little subtle meanings. Freemasons
Yep.
are weird, dude.
I agree.
That's a whole club I want nothing to do with. I used to think that like, man, this is like some crazy Illuminati shit, and then I like read a little bit about it, and then I watched a few documentaries. It's just a bunch of old dudes playing Tea Party. There's
Yeah,
nothing.
for real.
There's
How
nothing.
the fuck did it even get like that?
I don't know.
And you
but-
see these people, these affluent motherfuckers, maybe never been to a meeting in their fucking life, and they're like, "Look at my crest, look at my Freemason crest. You see it? It's on the ass end of my truck. You know that I'm real." Like,
it's guys like reciting things to each other. They're just putting on. It's a big
bro,
play.
for real.
It's a big play.
It's like, let's pretend we have our own church, and then now that you're also pretending, you have to give us money to help our brothers.
And then you have to
that's
like
kind of how it goes. Internal
practice
charity
speeches.
activate.
And then there's like the big day where you have to recite the speech. And if you recite it perfectly, then maybe you can rank up in the Freemasons Guild or whatever the fuck they call it.
Good Lord Almighty.
It's like if you think pro wrestling is gay,
Can we make our own?
this is much gayer. Trust me.
We should make our own like club
Could
that
be.
has things. Like if you can't.
What are we going to be about? I think like the occult, some type
obviously
of occult
gaming.
thing. Oh, gaming.
It's about the tenets and like the skills. Like,
I don't know.
of
Gamers
gaming.
are a wide net, dude.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like the
Least favorite
Freemasons, least favorite gamer, like
Go.
sweaty FPS players, dude. I think it's so cringe now. Like dudes that like will talk shit in game or like in real life saying how good they are at various FPS games because nobody gives a shit. And
Yeah, I think that translates to MMOs as well.
yeah. At least MMOs, those guys will have something to show for it. Like they'll have an account with achievements and stuff.
Sure.
FPS players, they'll just talk about the glory days. You know.
I used to do it like this.
I used to be one of those people.
Yeah, but you were also young though.
Yeah, I grew out of it.
Yeah, you got old. You're old.
I'm not as good at video games as I used to be.
That happens with oldness.
I got humbled today. It was
In what game?
hilarious.
Oh, Valorant?
Yeah, we're playing Valorant with the Canadians, and then some sweaty dudes joined in the games and super high rank and just absolutely destroyed me.
Pummeled.
But I mean, the whole time, like I was in Discord laughing because of how bad I was being beaten. Like all I was good for was like carrying the bomb. Other than that,
I've never played Valorant. I have no idea what you're talking about.
it's Counter-Strike with abilities.
Oh, okay. Oh.
I'm not a fan personally, but everyone plays it, so I just don't like
remember all the
powers.
kids
I just like
liking
the
that
Counter-Strike thing.
CS:GO bullshit.
I'm not a huge fan of CS:GO either. I like CSS and CS 1.5, CS 1.6. Past that, I hate it when they start introducing skins and shit. I hate things like that, but
yeah.
I understand they have to make money, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I remember the glory days of being able to like import your own sprays for Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, that was fun.
And you'd like walk through hallways that were entire memes, like a memeoscope. You run through it and you see action. Good
We
stuff.
used to have PNGs of the enemy models.
Oh, right.
So we would spray them on a corner, and if somebody peeked it and shot, we're like, okay, someone's waiting there. It was
It'd be like a sniper. I remember one intersection. It was definitely, I think it was 2 towers that had a sniper at the way over on the other side, and people would spray the snipers right there. So you'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, shit. You'd peek out and try to get them.
elite gamer move right there.
And I remember for some reason there was like a summer of David Hasselhoff. It didn't matter what the situation, you were going to run into that spray of the Hoff.
And the crazy thing about gamers in general is like I said, it's such a wide net. There's that guy. There's like the normal dudes. There's like funny people. There's people that take whatever game they're playing way too seriously. And then there's like the people that we used to call indoor kids. Those are also gamers.
Indoor kids? This is
Yeah.
new. What's
Oh,
an
wow.
indoor kid?
Indoor kids are like the ones that we used to make fun of for playing D&D. But at the same
So-
time, like no social skills, and it was like really abrasive to be around them, and you're like, I'd rather just fucking not.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm sure as a person they've probably done nothing horrible, but it's just like, man, hanging out with you is a fucking chore.
Fair enough.
There's a lot of those.
Yeah. So it's like both they either want to be indoors or you want them to be indoors.
Yeah,
Indoor
yeah,
kid.
just
Indoor
about.
kid.
Everyone games. I think that's the problem. Everyone games these days.
It seems like that's how you get a cult, though. You need to have wide appeal.
I mean, it's a great way to make friends. Like if you're a lonely person, play video games,
True.
and surely you'll run across someone or a group of people to play with. I mean, shit. Even for us, like we hang out and play with some people that we met online. Hell, even Ronan. Like I met Ronan playing Counter-Strike.
That's weird.
But then, like, he
He's
bought
such
a house.
fucking real.
Yeah, I mean, he bought a house just outside of Austin, so we'd fucking hang. Everyone I grew up with gaming now lives in Austin.
Yeah, that's weird. It's also awesome.
Super convenient.
Told my wife about
that would've driven me crazy.
the idea of getting all the boys together in the same place to play the D&D.
Uh-huh.
She instantly started Googling for more castle places.
Hell yeah.
Found one in New Braunfels.
For our D&D group, we're looking at renting a castle.
Yeah.
So we can get fucked up in a castle.
Yep.
And play D&D.
Mm-hmm.
We found some in Austin. It's a pretty decent selection, actually, more than I would have thought.
Yeah, you don't think castles in Austin. But you don't think there's 5 of them either.
Honestly, in Texas, I did not expect for us to find more than 2. I thought that was fucking crazy. I thought I was going to have to be a destination thing, and then there was like one fucking 20 minutes away. So I was like, okay.
Right.
I can't wait. Genuinely can't wait. D&D is a weird thing, man.
We should make a movie. I'm going to make a little B6 short flick.
Go for it.
That'll
But I
be
think
fun.
D&D is always something that I looked at as like way too complicated and nerdy for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I played with you guys, I don't know, it was a weird thing where like no other game can give you that same experience. Like no matter how hard you look, there's nothing that gives you that kind of freedom.
I'm super interested. So my thing is like I've known a lot of people who play Dungeons and Dragons, right? And I'm I guess an energetic and imaginative type, very creative, and I'm always like popping off into voices or coming up with scenarios or whatever. And people over the years have told me, "Do you play?" or ask me, "Do you play Dungeons and Dragons?" And then they follow it with, "You should be a dungeon master." And I'm like, "I got no dice, dude." And people would like indoor kids would invite me to play fucking D&D, and I'm like,
you've played D&D with indoor kids. You've told me these stories.
I know. I'm gonna save that. That'll be like a premium episode. I don't want to put people on blast with that story. But needless to say, I started playing a game that was absolutely horrendously executed, and am super grateful for Megamod Geist for what we got going on.
Being a DM seems stressful.
It seems like it'd be really fun. So I have this idea. I wanted to so my daughter's 16, and I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, right? And what I want to do, because I have a player's manual because she wanted to start a D&D group up at school, but none of the kids know how to dungeon master, right? And none of the teachers are sticking around after work to make it happen.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, keep your grades up, and what I would like to do is DM for your group of people, but I want to have the young ones.
You told me about that.
The lines that the monsters would say. Like I want to be like, okay, Roland, the 4-year-old. We're attacking. What are you doing? And just listen to what he has to say about it. And I'll just roll the dice or auto roll the dice or whatever. And I think it could be a pretty interactive and fucking crazy ride.
I think D&D is hard with kids because...
Well, all they're doing is rolling dice and sitting there annoying people.
Well, that or they want to take back actions or...
Oh, dude, that's why you got to be a good dungeon master. King of Dads plus a dungeon master, you're going to be all right.
I don't give a
guys,
shit. There are fucking rules. It's not Vietnam. You gotta stick to it. Right. I did this with my nephew. He was trying to go all around doing different stuff, and he's like, "Oh, that didn't work. Well, let's trick him." I'm like, "Look, you're not gonna be able to like try and trick a dude 4 times in a row. He's gonna know you're full of shit." So,
right.
This is the situation you're in.
This is how you execute. These are the goals. You got to go step 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
3.5.
I love a good consequence in a video game, dude.
Yeah.
It's fun.
There's some cool ass. There's this
When
Yeah.
there's like something to lose, there's real weight to the game. I like it.
That's why I like Conan
That's what. Yeah, I
or
love a
survival
survival
types.
game. Yeah, like same with Star Citizen, dude. There are repercussions for your mistakes, and you just gotta live with it. I mean, like the repercussions are losing time, which is one of my
Right.
biggest pet peeves, is having my time wasted, and then just a progression reset sucks too.
Yeah. That'll be a fun game once it's ready. It's on the rails and there's not so much change between various patches, I suppose.
Hell yeah, dude! Probably 20 more years. We're looking good.
Amen. Do you think we'll see a game like it emerge between now and launch?
That'd be
I don't mean
hilarious.
like a space sim, but something that was capable of giving you that feel.
I've been in that scenario. Man, do you remember when id was trying to create, what was it called, Anarchy? No,
Brink?
no, id Software. It was when they first came out with like id Tech 5.
Hmm.
It's got a sequel that just came out like a year or two ago.
Rust? Not Rust. I'm gonna do some googling.
What was it? This is gonna drive me fucking rage. It's called Rage.
Rage, yeah, not Rust. Rage.
So they were like developing Rage, and they took so fucking long to do it. Borderlands came out first, and Borderlands kicked ass. It was a great fucking game. Play it with the homies. You play it with people online. You play it by yourself, and there wasn't really like an apocalyptic aesthetic FPS game like that. That was mostly PVE based,
Right.
which is what Rage looked like, and like that's what people were stoked about.
Did Rage have a loot system like Borderlands? Was it supposed
No,
to feel like Diablo? Because I think that's what pulled a lot of the Borderland core fans in, all the way in at least.
it was completely different. I mean, think of it like Overwatch and Battleborn. You
Oh,
know,
okay, okay, okay.
like different games, similar aesthetic though, and that aesthetic really won on Borderlands. So when Rage came out, people were like, "This just looks like Borderlands," and I think it just kind of fucking died. And I'm surprised they made a sequel.
Yeah, that part. I always wondered how it was that Rage 2 came about when there wasn't enough hyper players for the first one.
I don't know.
And
That
and
should
then
happen with the new Wolfensteins too. I mean, I'm glad they made them because I like Wolfenstein, but
yeah. I've tried to play Wolfenstein and a bunch of the others in that series, and I just get real fucking bored with the story.
that can happen. It's really about gameplay for those, and if the gameplay doesn't hook you, then I'd say
Yeah.
there's no reason to play past the second level. So
Yeah, that's about how I feel.
yeah,
Poor
I mean,
me, Rip.
FPSs are hard, like especially story-based ones. Like, how do
I
you
feel
keep
like
someone engaged?
BioShock Infinite got it really fucking right.
I've never played any of them. People,
Any of them?
no,
Wow.
I've like watched some people play a little bit of them, and I think the time is gone for me to go back and like really appreciate them. I think that time
I
is
think
come and gone.
BioShock Infinite is the only one that might hold up. It doesn't really have to equate or relate to any of the previous games in the series.
Mhm.
And it's just for the pacing of it. But another one that was sort of an FPS that was very story driven, Alan Wake. Did you ever play that one?
No, I know it though. Didn't
That
play it.
sequel's about to come out soon too.
I think the part for me with older games is that I feel like there should be a part of me that should appreciate the game for what it is, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I have a really hard time getting past some like older gen graphics. So
Yeah, sure.
it makes it
Dude.
really hard for me to hang on to. But even though like a new game could come out, like Valheim looked like ass, but Valheim was just fun gameplay.
Right on.
And it had like newer survival mechanics, so I really enjoyed it from that standpoint. I'm still working out why I feel that way.
Why you liked it?
No, just like a new game can come out with older generation graphics, but
Yeah.
somehow they make the gameplay fun enough to where you keep wanting to play more and more of it. And then I can play an older game that looks similar, and I just have a really hard time enjoying it.
That's interesting.
Like, I think about Far Cry. I played Far Cry 1 when it came out, and that game kicked ass. So in my head today, that game still kicks ass. But I promise you, if I were to boot it up right now and play, I would probably close it and uninstall within 30 minutes.
That sounds accurate. Did you like the series, though? Like any of the sequels in the game? Or whatever?
Love it. Yeah, I thought Far Cry fucking ruled.
I used to
Far Cry 3 especially.
Far Cry 3 was where I got introduced to it. Somebody's like, "You never played Far Cry? Put this on your PC and enjoy." And then I got 4 and 5, and I haven't touched 6.
I haven't touched 6 either. It was one of those games that, like, I don't, think about it. I don't consider myself a massive fan, but I've played every time a game has come out except for the new one.
Yeah.
I think.
Is there any co-op in the new one?
There might be. I hated how they did co-op in 5, so I kind
of. Fair enough.
I don't know. It's interesting.
Can I tell you something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
We got a few minutes left here. I had a really kick-ass experience where I met up with a high school and middle school friend of mine that I hadn't seen for like 20 years this last week. And I had the weird sensation of sitting and looking at somebody who's my contemporary and explaining what the fuck QuakeCon was. Because he's like basically moved from Grand Prairie all the way out to someplace in Maine and then just never looked back or whatever. This guy's more of a music mover shaker type of thing. And I'm trying to explain my interaction with esports and the opportunities that are there. And it was like a surreal moment of going, right, gaming is its own hobby and it can get really involved and become a whole niche, right? And then it's like, oh, I'm that guy that is in the shit. Okay, yeah. You know, like when you don't know that you're maybe just a little too into something?
I wouldn't say you're too into it. I think the whole thing is daunting, dude. So, like, imagine trying to, because I had to do this recently, but like, imagine trying to explain Twitch to someone. It's kind of hard.
I have tried. I've had a hard, like the closest I got, because I'm in a bunch of these different producer groups for broadcast. And there's a lot of guys that are going from, I used to work here at these different radio stations or TV stations, and now I'm trying to do my own thing out of the house. And I'm like, do you guys realize Twitch is like 90s shock jock radio heaven right now? Like, imagine you're Stern with the webcam in the place, but everybody's there and you're real time getting money from your fans. Like, that's how you need to be thinking about this shit. And
I don't know. I think the shock jock thing is dead, or I hope it is.
Yeah, you're probably right. But it would be more like a talk radio vibe, like at least from my perspective. When I'm looking around on Twitch as the old man I am, I'm looking for maybe some IRL shit, kind of like this video through Austin, or some just talking or podcasts, and I'm seeing increasing amounts of sports radio stations grabbing Twitch stations and broadcasting their shit during their prime time or whenever they're on air. They're just also on Twitch.
Yeah.
And then seeing a lot of really creative podcast character interactions. Like, it's pretty cool, man.
There's I think just because you have to explain to someone like why someone would watch something or someone do something else, like browsing the internet or playing a game, like a lot of people don't get that. And even I don't watch Twitch for people who play video games. That's not really my thing. But
there's so much other shit happening in Twitch. It's ridiculous.
It's like Adult Swim live. That's the best I can offer to someone. And anything can happen. Wild shit can happen on a stream, and they can't police all of it. So there's going to be people, breaking the TOS for what you can and can't do on Twitch. And some of the TOS things are just like they're blanket statements. Oh, wow, Dirty Dog is still open in this video. Holy shit. That's crazy to me. But
this is pre-pandemic, 2019, pre-pandemic.
Right, or right at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Not sure. I don't see any masks, so probably like right before it happened. There's that where people are like breaking TOS or like some like dumb arbitrary rule that's there, probably for like a general safety reason, but doesn't apply to everyone. It might apply to like 10% of the community.
Right.
But then you've got to explain like the difference between like how someone can get paid on Twitch and what that road to getting paid on Twitch looks like and how to get there And then the fact that you can subscribe or gift a subscription or just give them bits or just a raw donation. Like, you have to explain so many other little systems
Right.
to someone else who's foreign to Twitch. And I had to do it a couple of weekends ago. We had a buddy here, and he's just not a gamer at all. Does not play video games. He's not like a podcast rat. He's not like a comedy rat. He's a musician, and he plays music at bars. Very, very, very good pianist. Very good songwriter. But it's not his scene. And the whole thing is so daunting. And I remember showing him like some wubby highlights on YouTube. He's like, man, that's cool that this guy's getting to like kind of do his hobby and, you know, at least kind of get by doing it. And I was like, he's not just getting by, like, this guy's a millionaire. He's like, you really think he's breaking $1 million? And of course the analytics got leaked for like what people had made the past 2 years on Twitch. And I was like, dude, he's made over $1 million. Easy. Just talking subscription money alone. We're not even talking like donations, merch, anything like that.
Are we really ignoring this fucking car that is the essential spirit of Keep Austin Weird? Is that supposed to be a swan in front of this weird taxi? What is this?
It's a pretty tame one, whatever it is.
Yeah. It's not like I seen one back in the day that had a bunch of crushed up aluminum cans glued to every square inch of the car.
Yeah, I've seen one that has change, like coins. I've seen
really?
one done up in rhinestones. It looks really ugly. And there's one's been going around Reddit recently. It's a guy with a bunch of like doll pieces,
Oh no!
like the
Like
arms and legs,
and heads and shit.
Yeah, and the heads and stuff. Yeah,
Like glued to the car.
yeah. They're all like glued to the car everywhere. Me and a buddy Mustafa were going to this little pie place. I forgot the name. Tiny Pies is the name of it. We're going there, and we stopped at a gas station afterwards. And homeboy just pulled up into the gas station and was like, motherfuck, you know, seeing you around.
Yeah.
And, you know, they
Mission
look normal.
accomplished for that guy. He's like, I'm a celebrity.
Kind of. I mean, it's weird.
It's the Zephyr Razor mask of cars.
I think you should, if you do that, you should be married and have a very strong relationship with your spouse. Otherwise, it's going to be a drought for a fucking minute, brother. How do you explain that? Like, how do you take, let's say you pick a girl up and be like, you know, let's go to dinner. I'll meet you at your place at 7, whatever. You show up in that.
That's how you meet the girl. You meet the girl in the car at the gas station. That's how it works.
No.
Man, you don't know until you try it. Let's get this
That
shit.
flash
Let's get
is-
some shit in like MDX Flex all the way.
That Flash is serial killer to me.
Really?
Like,
Because they want a out of the box car?
Because that's a murder thing. Here, I'm just going to pick another video.
Sure.
I don't know where this is exactly.
Hell yeah.
This is New York.
Hole.
This is New York. I don't know. Okay, if you saw a girl with all that shit on her car at a gas station, you'd strike up a conversation?
Absolutely.
God, you're fucking
Are you
strange.
kidding me, dude? So one time I was at a gas station and there was a guy who had a truck that was fitted out with a Saw jigsaw puzzle. Not puzzle, puppet. Like the puppet from Saw.
Oh, yeah,
iconic thing. Like that was on his shit, and he had red rims, and he had like a paint job to go along with it. And I was like, "Hey, man, you mind if I take any photos of your car? How long have you done it?" He was like, "Yeah, I got this club. There's a bunch of other weird cars that do this kind of thing." And it was like a lowrider club, but for thematic adornments on your vehicle.
That's a way to say it. I'd just call them Club of Psychopaths.
I know that's what you do. I'm evaluating because it's art, dude. Somebody thinks
Is
it
it?
as art. Yes, it is. It's an extension of whatever their fandom, the whole look at meism. Like, there's a facet of persona that's coming through that.
I think we're being a little fast and loose with the term art.
What? Come on.
Uh-huh.
What do you call art, my man? How is that not art?
The Sistine Chapel.
The Sistine Chapel
is a work of art.
The Mona Lisa is a work of art.
Chopin.
Come on, man. Come on,
work
man.
of art. Some asshole gluing fucking baby parts to his car exterior.
I agree. It does come off as fucking crazy.
It's kind of like that world of abstract art where, like, is this really art? And this is as someone who like buys abstract shit. I like it. I can't explain why I like it. It's just one of the things you look at it and you connect with it. But there's, I don't know, there's some things that I see and I'm immediately, it's jarring and I hate it. And I guess the argument is like, art can make you feel a certain way. You can get into that whole
hatred.
You can get into like this whole realm of like, because it makes you angry, that's why it's art, and I fucking hate that argument.
Oh man,
it's art, but it's not aesthetically pleasing.
Right. That's like noise music, or noise the genre.
I don't get that genre at all.
Have you ever been to a concert? You ever seen it live?
No, I don't like the music. Why would I pay to be annoyed?
You don't pay. I didn't say pay. Just, have you seen it?
No. Bro, you know me.
I know, but I'm saying like that's the essential difference there, right? Because you wouldn't call it art, but clearly these things get booked in clubs and shit. Like there's an entire niche. There's a fucking Wikipedia page for it. You know what I mean? Like it is extant, and it is a thing, even though we don't like it.
I don't know. Do you know anybody that goes to those regularly?
Actually, I know a guy who was a solo artist.
Do you like him?
He's a cool guy. He's a weird guy, but he's a cool guy.
Do you hang out with him on the weekend?
He was an indoor kid that grew up into a stable adult. And I used to hang out with him at a comic shop, and he was a former burner. He used to go to Burning Man all the time before it got, quote, too corporate.
Uh-huh.
He was one of these guys. He worked closely with, what's his name? Tom DeLauder?
I don't know the name.
Tim, fucking everybody knows him because they're like the only band in Dallas that anybody gives a shit about. Tripping Daisy and come on, what's another one? The Polyphonic Spree.
I don't know.
You don't know any of these people? Okay, cool. So lead singer of that owns I think it's Good Records out here in Dallas.
Okay, I know Good Records.
And like he's all up in that little circle of genuinely creative, artistic, and fucking, well-liked people. Or shit, he was. So I'm having that moment, and I think a lot of us are going to have this moment increasingly where it's like, fuck, did COVID take that motherfucker out? Because, like, I haven't seen this guy in, like, say, 40 years. I'm like, God damn, is he still here?
Could be.
And then you go, am I going to look it up, or am I just going to go, yeah, he's still out there kicking?
I mostly have that feeling with, like, old celebrities.
Old celebrities?
Yeah.
Fair. Give it another 10 years and you'll know where I'm talking about, buddy.
We'll see. But let's wrap this up. My dog wants to go outside.
Okay.
Thanks for watching / listening. We'll see you guys next week. Go pay for Patreon. And then if you're not paying for Patreon, at least follow us on socials. It's slow effort, high yield, and everything except Twitter.
Yeah.
I think it's at Low High Pod. You got anything else?
I just want to say shout out to the folks on Facebook who are slowly finding us, and howdy to the folks on YouTube who are picking up some of those audio waves.
People are finding us on Facebook?
Yeah, a little bit at a time. We go from zero with no effort, low effort.
How old are they?
We're doing it. I don't know. I haven't looked at those demographics. That's a little creepy, my guy.
I'm curious.
But I am trying to pitch to my daughter to get all her teenage friends on board.
I feel like boomers would watch this show and hate it.
Oh, they should. They really fucking should.
This guy hates America. It's not that I hate America. It's just that it's not that great. We act like it's great, and there's some cool things about it. But, I think cons are getting a little heavy on the scale, if you get what I mean, brother.